One day dreams come true. The dream you carry in your heart today may look impossible, invisible, or delayed. But I want to tell you this, a dream that is born from faith never dies. It may go through the valley, it may be buried under disappointment, but it will rise again when the time is right. You see, everything great that has ever happened began as a dream inside someone who refused to give up when the world said no. A dream is not just imagination. It is a seed planted by God deep inside your spirit. That dream pulls you forward when everything around you tries to push you back. It whispers to you when the noise of doubt grows louder. It keeps your heart burning when your circumstances are cold. The dreamer sees beyond the visible, believes beyond the possible, and walks by faith when the road is dark. Every mountain that stands between you and your dream is not there to stop you. It's there to prove how much you truly believe. There was a time when you believed anything was possible. As a child, you didn't question your dreams, you simply saw them. But as you grew, the voices of fear, failure, and logic began to speak louder. They said, be realistic. They said, you're not good enough. But hear me, the world doesn't change through people who are realistic. It changes through those who dare to believe that their dream can change everything. It's not about what you have, it's about what you believe. If your dream is still alive inside you, then God is not finished with you yet. The delay is not denial. The silence is not rejection. The waiting is not wasted. Every great vision begins with a burden, a picture in your heart that refuses to leave. You might be in the season of preparation right now. Nothing seems to move. You're praying, believing, and still waiting. You're wondering if maybe you misunderstood. But remember this, when God gives a dream, He also prepares the dreamer. Before Joseph ever touched the throne, he touched the prison. Before David ever wore a crown, he faced a giant. Before your dream becomes visible, it must be tested in the invisible. God uses pressure to polish purpose. He uses waiting to deepen wisdom. He uses delay to grow dependence. So don't quit when you feel tired, quit when you are finished. Don't let your emotions cancel your expectation. Your faith must be louder than your fear. Speak life over your dream. Declare what you believe even when nothing seems to happen. Faith is the language of the unseen. When you speak it, heaven hears it. Every time you pray, every time you trust, every time you refuse to give up, you are building what you cannot yet see. The dream is forming. The miracle is moving. The promise is maturing. One day the doors will open. The people who overlooked you will recognize you. The tears you cried in private will become your testimony in public. What you sowed in the dark will bloom in the light. The dream that felt buried will break through the ground because it was never dead. It was planted. And when that day comes, you will look back and realize that every delay, every disappointment, every moment of doubt was a part of the design. God didn't forget your dream. He was preparing you for it. So hold on, keep believing, keep building, keep speaking, because one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day that dream you've prayed for, cried for, waited for will stand before you as your reality. One day dreams come true not by chance, not by luck, but by faith, by patience, by persistence, and by the unshakable hand of God that never fails. Every dream that God places in your heart carries a divine timetable. It may seem delayed, hidden, or even forgotten, but it is never denied. When you receive a dream from God, it's not just an idea, it's a heavenly assignment wrapped in faith. That dream is evidence that heaven has already prepared something for you in the unseen realm. The waiting season, the silence, and the moments of confusion are all part of a greater plan unfolding behind the scenes. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean God isn't working. A seed takes time to break through the soil, but beneath the surface, life is forming. Likewise, your dream is growing roots in places you cannot see. Faith is the bridge between the promise and the manifestation, and those who hold on to faith will see what others called impossible. Many people give up not because the dream died, but because they stopped believing. When you stop believing, the dream suffocates under the weight of doubt. But when you keep faith alive, even in the darkest moments, the dream breathes again. Abraham waited 25 years for his promise. Joseph endured betrayal and imprisonment before stepping into his destiny. Their waiting wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God uses time to align your heart, strengthen your spirit, and build your capacity. A dream too early can destroy you, but a dream matured through faith will sustain you. You must trust the process, even when the process hurts. The delay often tests the sincerity of your desire. Do you want it only when it's easy, or will you still believe when it's hard? God often delays the dream to purify your motives. If your dream is truly from Him, it won't fade when things get difficult. It will burn even brighter. The fire of trial doesn't destroy true vision, it refines it. When you hold on to your dream in faith, every obstacle becomes an opportunity to prove your trust in God. Every no becomes a step toward your lays. Every closed door redirects you toward the right one. You begin to see that delay is not God's disapproval, but His protection. He knows when you're ready, and He knows when the world is ready for you. Faith is not believing that God can do it. Faith is believing that He will do it in His time, His way, for His glory. The waiting period is the proving ground of your faith. When everything is quiet and nothing is moving, that's when faith speaks the loudest. Keep confessing the promise even when there's no evidence of change. Keep thanking God even when you don't feel like it. Keep walking even when the path is unclear. Because faith is not emotion, it's conviction. It's choosing to believe when sight gives you every reason to doubt. You might be looking at your situation right now thinking, but the God who made the promise has not forgotten you. He is not slow, He is strategic. Every delay is designed to position you, prepare you, and perfect what concerns you. When you keep your faith alive, heaven keeps your dream on schedule. One day suddenly, what took years to form will manifest in moments. You won't need to chase it. It will come to you, fully formed and perfectly timed. That is the power of faith, to carry your dream through delay until it becomes destiny. The dream is a divine seed planted by God Himself into the soil of your spirit. It is not born from ambition but from revelation. When God gives you a dream, it carries His DNA, purpose, power, and potential. Just like a seed carries within it a whole forest, your dream contains within it everything needed to produce fruit in its season. But before that seed grows outward, it must take root deep within your heart through faith, patience, and surrender. The process begins in the unseen. You don't see roots forming, but without them, the seed cannot stand when storms come. God works in the hidden places before He reveals you in the visible ones. Every great calling requires deep preparation. You may see others rising faster, moving ahead, achieving what you desire, and you begin to question if you've been forgotten. But remember, God is not rushing to promote you. He is preparing to sustain you. Many people want the dream but are not yet ready to carry its weight. When the dream grows before the roots are strong, the fruit cannot last. God uses time to strengthen your foundation. He allows pressure to shape your humility, criticism to build your resilience, and solitude to deepen your dependence on Him. What feels like delay is often divine development. Before you ever step into the stage of success, God takes you through the school of secrecy. The hidden years are the holiest years. That's where He trains your hands for battle and your heart for endurance. The dream cannot grow until the dreamer grows. The bigger your calling, the deeper your roots must go. God will not allow you to skip the process because shortcuts lead to shallowness. True strength is formed in silence, in tears, in prayers, in the nights where you wonder if anyone sees your effort. But heaven sees. Every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every act of faith builds spiritual muscle for the moment when the dream breaks forth. Growth in the unseen is uncomfortable. You won't always understand why certain doors stay closed, why certain people leave, or why your progress feels slow. But God knows that too much too soon can crush you. He allows the soil to press against the seed, not to bury it, but to protect it. The darkness around you is not punishment, it's incubation. The dream must first die to your control before it can live by His power. Every seed must break before it grows, and every dream must surrender before it shines. When you let go of your need to control the outcome, God begins to unfold it His way. You must keep nurturing your dream through prayer, vision, and obedience. Speak life into it even when nothing seems to happen. Feed it with the Word of God and guard it against the weeds of fear and negativity. Don't expose your seed to people who don't understand your soil. Not everyone is meant to see what God planted inside you. Some will misunderstand your vision because they didn't hear what you heard. That's why you must be selective with your conversations during your planting season. Protect your dream until it's strong enough to stand on its own. The dream growing within you is not just about what you will achieve, it's about who you are becoming. The process transforms you from the inside out. God is not only preparing a blessing for you, He is preparing you for the blessing. Every test, every delay, every lesson is cultivating strength, patience, and faith in your spirit. And when the time comes, what has been forming inside will burst forth in fullness, revealing that the dream was never waiting on circumstances, it was waiting on your readiness. Before the dream can grow outward, it must first grow inward. Every dream from God begins in the invisible, planted deep within the soil of your spirit. It is not something you see with your eyes, it's something you sense with your faith. The moment that divine seed enters your heart, heaven begins a process of formation. But that process is not instant. A seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted. It must go through darkness, pressure, and time. The soil covers it, hides it, and surrounds it completely. To the world, it looks bare, but in reality, it's being prepared to rise. In the same way, God hides your dream, not to destroy it, but to develop it. The hidden season is proof that something sacred is taking root beneath the surface. When God gives you a dream, He doesn't just hand you success, He hands you the opportunity to grow into the kind of person who can carry success. The dream is only as strong as the dreamer. If your roots aren't deep enough, the storm of life will uproot what you're trying to build. That's why the first stage of any dream is invisible. God works on your character before He works on your calling. He refines your heart before He releases your harvest. The dream might look still, but under the surface, faith is stretching, patience is forming, and endurance is being born. Those who rush the process never develop the strength to sustain the promise. You cannot microwave a miracle, you must cultivate it through time and trust. Many people want the fruit without the roots. They want to be seen before they've been shaped. But visibility without maturity is vulnerability. God will never expose you before He establishes you. So when doors don't open as fast as you hoped, it's not rejection, it's protection. The foundation must be solid before the structure can rise. Every hidden season is a construction zone of the soul. You are being molded, tested, and refined. God uses delays, detours, and disappointments as divine tools to anchor you deeper in faith. What feels like a pause is actually preparation. The longer the foundation takes, the higher the building can stand. Think of the dream as a living thing. It breathes faith, it grows through pain, it feeds on obedience. The seed must be watered daily by prayer, hope, and consistency. Every time you pray over your dream, you water it. Every time you act in faith, you fertilize it. Every time you speak life instead of doubt, you strengthen it. The seed responds to the atmosphere of your belief, so guard your heart from negativity and fear. Protect your dream from the voices that tell you it's impossible. Some people cannot see what God showed you because the vision wasn't planted in their soil, it was planted in yours. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. The seed doesn't need approval, it needs faith. In the early stages, growth is silent. You won't always see results, you won't always feel progress. But just like a seed growing underground, something powerful is happening in the unseen. The roots are expanding, faith is maturing, and strength is forming. God is aligning resources, opportunities, and people you haven't even met yet. The dream is not dormant, it's developing. What looks invisible today will one day become undeniable. The same soil that once covered your dream will soon testify that it was never dead. It was planted. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They are the sacred spaces where God shapes your heart, builds your character, and prepares your hands for the promise. The silence of waiting is not a sign that nothing is happening, it's proof that something deeper is being built. You see, when God gives you a dream, He already knows when, where, and how it will come to pass. But before He fulfills it outwardly, He fulfills something within you. Waiting doesn't mean you're forgotten, it means you're being formed. Every delay has a divine reason. even if your mind cannot yet understand it. God is never in a hurry, but He is always on time. He does not rush His masterpiece because what He's creating in you takes time, precision, and purpose. During the waiting, God develops qualities that success cannot teach. He teaches you patience when you want speed, faith when you want evidence, and peace when you want answers. The waiting season reveals the true posture of your heart. Do you trust Him when the doors stay closed? Do you still believe when nothing moves? Many people can praise God when the dream is visible, but few can worship when it feels distant. Waiting exposes your dependence on results and redirects it to reliance on God. It is in this season that your spiritual roots grow deeper, anchoring you in trust rather than sight. The waiting season is not punishment, it's preparation for promise. When God delays, He is not denying you, He is developing you. If He gave you the dream too soon, it might destroy you. A blessing before its time can become a burden. The waiting allows your character to catch up with your calling. You are learning how to handle pressure, how to respond to disappointment, and how to stay faithful when it feels like nothing is working. Every moment of waiting refines your faith. It teaches you to walk not by what you see, but by what you know, that God is faithful even in the silence. The dream doesn't die in the delay, it matures in it. Waiting seasons also separate what is temporary from what is true. Some relationships will fade, some plans will shift, and some desires will be redefined. God allows this pruning because not everything you start with can go with you into your destiny. Waiting clarifies your vision. It teaches you to let go of what distracts you and hold on to what truly matters. When you stop fighting the timing and start flowing with it, peace replaces frustration. You begin to realize that what you thought was a delay was actually divine synchronization. God is aligning people, places, and opportunities you cannot yet see. While you wait, He is working behind the curtain, arranging everything for your good. The key is to remain faithful while you wait. Keep praying, keep preparing, keep believing. Don't sit in frustration, grow in faith. Waiting is not idle time, it's investment time. Every prayer you whisper, every tear you shed, every act of obedience you take is watering the seed of your dream. You may not see results yet, but you are being positioned for them. The waiting builds endurance, and endurance produces strength. The moment you learn to praise God in the waiting, you are already stepping closer to fulfillment. Waiting teaches you to trust His timing more than your plan, His wisdom more than your desire, and His process more than your impatience. In the silence, God is still speaking. ChatGPT said faith speaks life into the unseen. It declares victory when defeat seems certain. It sees what is invisible and calls it forth as though it already exists. Faith does not wait for evidence, it creates it. When everything around you contradicts your dream, faith becomes your language, your attitude, and your weapon. It's easy to speak hope when everything looks promising, but real faith is proven when circumstances look impossible. Faith doesn't deny reality, it defies limitation. It looks at the mountain and says, "You will move." It looks at the storm and says, "Peace, be still." It looks at the empty space and says, "God will fill this." The power of faith is not in what you see, it's in what you say. When your words align with God's promise, heaven responds. Your dream requires a voice of faith because silence allows doubt to take root. Every time you speak what you believe, you give life to your vision. Words are spiritual seeds. They produce after their kind. When you speak fear, fear multiplies. When you speak faith, faith grows stronger. Your words are building your world, shaping your atmosphere, and directing your destiny. That's why you must guard your confession. Don't say what you feel, say what you believe. Don't echo your circumstances, declare your covenant. Even when nothing changes on the outside, something is shifting on the inside. Every declaration of faith sends a signal to heaven that you trust God more than your situation. Faith doesn't just speak once, it speaks consistently. It keeps declaring until manifestation comes. You may not see results immediately, but persistence in faith builds momentum in the unseen realm. It's not about how loud you shout, it's about how deeply you believe. When you speak faith, you are not trying to convince God, you are convincing your own heart to align with Him. Faith transforms fear into focus and worry into worship. The more you speak it, the more you see it. Because faith is not a feeling, it's a force. And that force brings life to what looks lifeless. There will be moments when everything in you wants to give up speaking life because the delay feels endless. That's when your faith must speak the loudest. Declare healing when sickness persists. Declare provision when lack surrounds you. Declare victory when you feel defeated. Faith-filled words carry creative power. The same God who spoke the universe into existence has placed that same authority in your tongue. You can speak peace into chaos, order into confusion, and breakthrough into delay. The key is consistency. Keep saying it until you see it. When you speak, don't speak from fear, speak from faith. Fear reacts to problems. Faith responds to promises. Faith doesn't operate by what the eyes can see, but by what the heart knows. Every time you choose to speak faith instead of frustration, you activate the supernatural. Heaven moves where faith is spoken. Angels respond to words of belief. Miracles are released when you declare God's word over your circumstances. When you say, "It will happen," heaven starts aligning the pieces. When you say, "I am healed," your body begins to respond. When you say, "My dream will live," you resurrect what was fading. Faith language is creative language. It calls the unseen into the seen. So don't let your situation silence your spirit. The dream grows when faith speaks. Keep declaring the promise, keep affirming the vision, keep speaking life, because your words are the bridge between what is promised and what will be performed. One day the dream that once felt buried will rise and bloom, because what God plants never dies. It may have looked like the end, but it was only a beginning in disguise. When a seed is buried, it seems gone, hidden beneath layers of dirt, forgotten by sight. Yet that very burial is the key to its growth. In the same way, your dream may have gone through seasons of darkness, loss, or silence. But those seasons were not its death, they were its preparation. God never buries dreams to kill them, He buries them to cultivate them. What looks buried to man is planted by God, and when the time is right, what was once unseen will burst through the soil of delay and disappointment, stronger and more beautiful than before. Every tear you cried over your dream was water for its roots. Every prayer you whispered in the dark was light for its growth. Every test, every setback, every heartbreak was shaping the soil of your destiny. The waiting was not wasted, it was working. Just as a seed cannot rush its process, neither can you rush what God is forming. The deeper the root, the stronger the tree. And the stronger the tree, the greater the fruit. When your dream finally blooms, it will not just bless you, it will bless others, because God never fulfills a dream just for personal gain. He fulfills it for purpose. When the dream begins to rise, it often happens quietly at first. The shift starts in small ways, a conversation, a connection, a door that opens unexpectedly. You'll notice how everything that once worked against you suddenly begins to align. The people who doubted you will be surprised by what God has done. The same voices that said, "You'll never make it," will one day witness your breakthrough and know it was not luck, it was divine timing. Every delay will make sense because it will reveal that the dream was not denied, it was being developed for the right moment. The manifestation will come when both you and the environment are ready to hold it. God is a master of timing. He doesn't bring the dream to life when you expect it. He brings it when you are prepared to sustain it. Sometimes the dream seems slow because God is protecting it from premature exposure. Just as fruit must ripen before it's picked, your dream must mature before it's revealed. If it had come earlier, it might have broken you. But when it comes after seasons of faith, endurance, and humility, it will stand firm. The fruit that survives the storm carries the sweetest taste because it has endured the process. The moment the dream rises, you will realize that it was never about how strong you were. It was about how faithful God was. Every detour, every disappointment, every delay was leading you right where you needed to be. The people who left were necessary, the silence was necessary, the struggle was necessary, because they all played a role in preparing you for what's coming. The very thing you thought buried you became the soil that grew you. What once felt like loss was actually positioning you for life. When God brings your dream into reality, it will come suddenly yet perfectly. It won't need to be forced or manipulated, it will flow naturally. The opportunities will fit, the timing will align, and peace will confirm it. The dream will not return to you the same, it will return multiplied. What was once a seed of hope will stand as a tree of fulfillment. And though the journey was long and the nights were dark, the rising of that dream will prove that nothing placed in God's hands ever truly dies.